Brad Washa, Strategic Operations with the operations update for the Lost Horse Creek fire for August 9th, 2023. So we've had a number of things happening in the last few days on the fire. We're starting to get some additional resources coming in that's helping us out. The weather that we've seen in the area hasn't really been materializing on the fire itself. Down in Fairbanks, they had a number of precipitation events, rain basically, and that has not been materializing on the fire itself. We do have what are called portable RAWS stations and remote automated weather stations. One's at Caribou Peak. That only showed 1/100th of an inch of precip yesterday. We also put in some portable RAWS south of the fire area, and those showed no precipitation. Also, in talking with resources on the fire line itself, they didn't see any precipitation yesterday. So although the area has precipitation occurring, we haven't seen it on the fire. And if you even go farther north, there's actually a red flag warning for today that doesn't cover our fire itself. That's to the north of us, but that's also because of potential thunderstorm development and the real dry conditions. So those real dry conditions can stay in our area, but we don't have the thunderstorm development. As far as yesterday, we're starting to look at more of the long-term part of the fire. We've got a good handle on places where we plan on putting direct fire line. We're continuing to enhance those. A lot of that work is going in there with chainsaws and thinning out along the fire lines. That way timber won't fall across the dozer lines that are in place later on. We're also starting to look at putting some indirect lines, and we've got a number of places we're looking at that. And that's more like if a week or two from now things get hot and dry again and the fire becomes active, we've got places that we can attack the fire from, in addition to what's already in place as far as the direct line. So above Haystack, we have an indirect line that's proposed. We've done a little bit of the dozer work, but from where the dozer work is now out to the east, we're going to do what's called mastication. So that's a large drum, either on like a skidder or an excavator, and it basically chips up the material, leaves it in place, and then if we have to at a later point in time, would come in with dozers to reinforce that line. And that just does less impact to the tundra and that sort of thing. So that's one of the things we're doing here. We're also looking at putting mastication line in to the west of the fire. We have added a division Papa, so our division Juliet is primarily focusing on the fire line itself, a little bit of indirect, and then they're going to do mastication out to the Elliott Highway. And again, preemptive, if the fire becomes active again, something that we can burn out and keep the fire from hitting the Elliott Road. And then we're also doing a lot of structure protection work. We're doing an assessment in the Haystack area, and then also looking at some of the structures along the Elliott Highway. So back in Whiskey, the fire continues to hold in the old Haystack fire. We have put dozer line in there and connecting it into a previous fuels treatment. So that's holding well. And then we also do have the two fires that we're managing. We're starting to wind down the 255 Sargent Creek fire, roughly 30 acres in size. We're hoping to have resources coming off of that by Friday. And then the 271 fire, that's going to be another week or so, and that's off the map here. But another week probably of work on that one before we pull resources off on that. So as our team starts thinking about winding down and leaving the area, just because the fire activity has decreased, and we're looking at what the new organization will be and looking at the long-term plan for that, and see where we'll go from there. So that concludes today's operation briefing for the 9th of August, 2023.